outreach specialist, experienced in educating youth via empowerment and adventure. Through her outreach work, Vida has been able to engage the community and volunteers of all ages and abilities in embracing marine conservation and ocean confidence. To date, she has engaged over 1,000 children via Fish and Fins programs. An SIDS, Small Islands and Developing State, national living at the front line of climate change, she works towards education and increasing Caribbean youth awareness about the marine life and aims to immerse them and inspire them to be passionate ocean leaders. Thank you so much for accompanying us today, Vida. I will share your screen. I will share my screen to show your presentation. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay.
Good morning, everybody. It's my pleasure to be with you and to join you for this this workshop today from the beautiful Caribbean island of Montserrat. And I would love to find out more about yourselves and your projects. So if you can just comment in the chat your project name and a yes or no if you think your project is ready to scale, that will be handy, and where you're joining us from. So feel free to just interact with me in that way. And I just wanted to introduce myself in the sense that I founded Fish and Fins, which is our kids' ocean club here on Montserrat. I work in Montserrat as well as the Caribbean island of Antigua and Barbuda for the past 5 years. And I started this program with absolutely nothing. I had like 3 pairs of fins and a 2-page plan. A 2-page plan that would lay out a project outline. It wasn't even a business plan. And I approached an NGO, an international NGO by the name of the Waite Institute, and basically pitched my plan. And that summer, I was able to go from having like 3 or 4 kids in the water on mini workshops to 75. And then 5 years later, we now have reached around 2,000 students and young people between the ages of 7 to 25. And that's a photo that you see on the screen now of one of our activities at Fish and Fins, where we were able to take a lot of our youngsters out diving with a scientific team. We were listening to music underwater and looking at species and stuff like that. So it was a really fun day. And so I wanted to just share a little bit when it comes to scaling a business, what are some of the dynamics for you to consider? And by scaling, it would be interested to find out a little bit more about what you see as what scaling a business means to you. And, you know, for me, I would say scaling my business was around impact. It was how can I make the biggest amount of impact with the smallest amount of resources? And how can I engage as many people as possible? So I'm going to just show a quick video of our project here on Montserrat and where it started in 2015. Can you hear it? I can't hear it.
No.
We can't hear it.
Okay. Stand by.
Hi, my name is Vita Wade. I was born on the tiny island of Montserrat. Living on an island, the ocean is of course very special to me. Fish and Fins is a kids club that I started to get the children of Montserrat engaged with the sea. We teach them how to snorkel, how to swim, and really to just understand what's happening in the oceans around them. People protect what they love. Our mission at Fish and Fins is to inspire awareness and respect for our ocean. We're creating a generation of ocean leaders that will do the right things to preserve and protect our ocean's future.
So there you have it, a little bit of the purpose and vision behind Fish and Fins and where I started with a team of local folks, including local fishers and international scientists. And so in terms of the journey to scaling and being of impact, I've seen some of the projects. We have an Ocean Solutions Lab in the Galapagos, which sounds really interesting. We have resilience projects and so on. So that's interesting to know your work. So feel free at any point as we go through this. I'm quite an interactive person. You can put a hand up and ask me a question if you don't want to wait till the end. But yeah, so let's move on and into the first slide, where I'll talk a little bit about that, you know, some of the common problems with regards to scaling. And we have two main challenges. One, scale too soon, or we wait too long to scale. And scaling too soon could see us spending far too much money on marketing, promotions, on resources, pulling people together before we're not ready. Scaling too soon, you know, is in many ways could be wasteful and stressful on the team. Resources, and especially sometimes in many cases finite resources, are not being used in the best way. Waiting too late, on the other hand, could see us in a situation where we miss opportunities for collaboration, miss opportunities for making the type of impact we want to make, because we've waited too late to build a team, especially because the work may be coming in, the project, you know, relationships might be building, a grant has probably come forward that you might have been able to benefit from, but we've waited too late to put in place the infrastructure that's necessary to continue to build. So that's two of the common problems. And I'll go on to the next, which is knowing when to scale. So this is a very tricky place to be in, but knowing when to scale, you know, it means constantly being aware of your environment and your market, you know, who your target market is. Is it youth? Is it small businesses? Is it government? Is it community NGOs or international NGOs? Knowing when to scale has a lot to do with what's actually happening in the market. What's the market ready for? What's your customers demanding? You know, are there opportunities within climate action? Are there opportunities within blue economy? Are there opportunities within energy? I know right now in the Caribbean, we have a lot of focus around plastic pollution. And you can see that the market, in a sense, if you're looking at key stakeholders, so knowing your market and knowing your stakeholders is important as well, and what they're doing. So like funding agencies, for instance, like the UNDP and others such as that, are focused around plastics and how we can either phase out or come up with alternatives to the use of plastics and styrofoam in the Caribbean. So that's something that by constantly being aware of what's happening in the media, the press, your stakeholders, being constantly keeping your finger on the pulse. Knowing when to scale can also have to do with your inventory. Are you seeing more orders coming in than you have capacity to fill? What's happening with your team? Are you seeing a build-up of potential opportunities? May it be opportunities for funding or investment, but is it just yourself and one other that are currently operating? And if it's that it's the case, where you may have maybe just two folks in your business, it could be yourself and a parent or yourself and a partner, but you're seeing the market shifting in a direction that you can provide a service towards. You're seeing stakeholders pivot in a certain direction that you want to support. You're seeing your inventory running out and you want to really be able to maximize your opportunities. This may mean that you need to invest a little bit more in the team, whether or not you have a voluntary team, an advisory council team, or you have a paid team. And then, of course, knowing when to scale also has to do with your resources. Of course, if you're coming into a bit of money or funding, it may be, and other things are actually in alignment, then we might see that being able to scale is possible. On the other hand, if you don't have the finances, you don't have the additional support in your community, then you either have to be very super creative in looking outside for these resources, or perhaps it's just not the right time as yet to scale. So I hope that bit has been helpful. And if you have any questions at this point, please feel free to just put your hands up and ask. And now I wanted to give us a chance to just really interact a little bit. And one of the things that I think is really important as we address this topic of scaling your business is your purpose. Your purpose and your why is, why am I doing this? Is a key message that you need to be so super clear of. You need to be clear of it, not only in terms of your business plan, your business strategy long-term, but also in terms of how well you're able to get either your volunteers, your team members, your advisory members to support your mission. I have here, your purpose makes your business more appealing. If you want to scale your business, then your business and your story needs to be appealing. So that being said, if anybody has any questions, you can put your hand up. And if you don't, we want to just split into a couple breakout rooms for 10 minutes. And Anna, if you can just put the questions back up again so folks can see what we'll discuss in these breakout rooms. And the purpose of this breakout room is to, one, get to know each other and each other's work, but also to understand, what is it that I'm aiming to do? How am I doing it? And why am I doing it? Right, so I want us to split into your breakout groups, and together I want you to all introduce yourselves to each other in these three ways. What do I do? How do I do it? And why do I do it? At the end of 10 minutes, we'll come back and each group will be able to present, one person can just present the story of the individual in their group that really resonated most with them. Okay, so let's go ahead into our breakout rooms.
Perfect. Thank you, Vita. Drisha, if you could help us move everyone over to the breakout rooms. Taking the questions in the chat as well.
Should I do it now?
Yes, please.
Sure.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Vita.
You're welcome.
That was great. A wonderful way to stimulate and inspire some thinking. Really, many thanks, and I enjoyed that video very much too.
Good. I'm glad you have. I'm glad you have. And yeah, I think it's a big topic to cover, but there are two things that I think resonate most highly with me, and it is your purpose and your people, you know? And so those are the two messages I'm hoping to get across. Are we in a breakout room together?
I don't believe we are yet. We'll receive kind of like a pop-up.
I've created the breakout rooms.
Okay.
But should I put everybody, like all the POP team members?
Yes, please. Yeah, go ahead. You can split us up so that we're, Vita's in one and everybody else is we're scattered across the groups.
Okay.
Thank you, Drisha.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Vanessa, are you there? Vishnu sir? Can you tell me for how many minutes the breakout room is supposed to be? Because it was previously scheduled for 10 minutes actually. So everybody will come back in 10 minutes. I'll have to put them again. Do you know for how many minutes the room is supposed to be?
So, what are your two key takeaways from today's discussion?
The key
Takeaways from today's discussion.
key takeaways. So first of all, I got some new ideas for the next meeting regarding to the action plan. We have our action plan, which I will update with information that I got here. That one. Second one is the really power of the network, because like I said, I feel more stronger and confident when I see that there is a lot of people around the world which is actually having the same system of the values and ideas.
Yeah.
This one, and for me it was very nice how you manage all discussion with the games in the beginning to introduce ourselves, and then how you lead all the discussion through the end. This is the good approach for all meetings, because it was like 1 hour and a half and I didn't feel it. It was very interactive. You need to follow, to be focused, so it was great.
Thank you. Are you excited about the next discussion?
Yes, I am. I need to be prepared. And maybe something concrete for discuss.
Yeah, and are you comfortable with the duration? Like you said, like 1.5 hours, you didn't feel it, so.
Yeah. And for duration was great, of course.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
However, I wanted to convey to you some very important facts and some very important ideas which I hope will motivate you and get you to start taking action on something that is going to be part of the pop movement all over the world. I was chairman of the IPCC from 2002 to 2015, during the course of which we were able to spread awareness on the science of climate change. And in fact, it was in 2007 that I had the privilege of receiving the Nobel Peace Prize on behalf of the IPCC. And I want to tell you that what we brought out in our various reports, and they are still coming out as extremely effective pieces of scientific information.
Honoring the IPCC through the grant of the Nobel Peace Prize in 2007, in essence, can be seen as a clarion call for the protection of the Earth as it faces the widespread impacts of climate change. The choice of the panel for this signal honor is, in our view, an acknowledgement of three important realities which can be summed up as: 1, the power and promise of collective scientific endeavor, which is demonstrated by the IPCC and can reach across national boundaries and political differences in the pursuit of objectives defining the larger good of human society. 2,
Awesome. Welcome back, everyone. We'll just wait for Vita to join the main session again so she can continue with her presentation. She should probably be here soon.
Thank you. I hope everybody enjoyed that little bit brief, but I think very valuable discussion time.
Thank you, Ash. Definitely, I agree.
I think Vita is back.
Excellent.
Oh, there she is. Okay, Vita, you're on mute. We can't hear you.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay. All right then.
Yes,
Thank you.
we can
And
hear you again.
that was fantastic. I really enjoyed in our little breakout room getting to understand and learn about Ivan's story and his Resilience 2020 project. And I would love to hear a little bit more from the groups just now. So if each person, I know in the group I was in, Ivan was the only one that spoke, but you have 1 minute for each group leader or whoever has been chosen to speak, to share your, what do you do, how do you do it, and your reason why. Just 1 minute.
Thank you, Vita.
I don't know who can go first, but if you take it breakout group 1, 2, and 3.
Perfect. We were group 1, so IbrahÃ, if you want to go ahead, you can start.
Yeah, sure. Well, good morning, everyone. It's really nice to see you again. And well, I was in the breakout room with Anna and Osteen. And well, something really great that came up is like both Osteen, Destine and me, we use education as a tool. So I'm focusing on environmental education and he's focusing on quality education for youth around the world. And we do it because we think education is really important for making change. And well, I basically do this because people before me did the same. Like, it started to educate me, and I really want to keep doing this so that we could spread a stronger and more powerful conservation message around the world. So I think that's it.
Thank you. Fantastic. Next one. Next breakout group.
Okay, and hello everyone. I will do group number 2 with Karla. We both are from Mexico, and we have like at certain point the same objective and the same way to achieve it. We like try to interact with organizations so we can have like people like alliances, and we want to create conscientization campaigns and to protect the environment. That's all.
Okay. That sounds good. You said you wanted to create conservation campaigns to help save the environment.
Yeah,
and what are you doing now to get to that?
I am working with organizations in my country, just like Karla, and we're trying like to get more information on how to conserve the environment and for creating conscientization campaigns.
Okay, thank you. Wonderful.
Thank you to you.
Next.
I don't know which group we were, but maybe Ivan could share a little bit about his project.
Ivan, 1 minute. What do you do? How do you do it, and why?
Sure. So what do? We install eco-technologies for free, and we integrate it into a circular economy model. How do we do it? Well, as I was saying, we put the technologies at homes, and we put the three stakeholders, like main stakeholders, which are people at homes, businesses, and farmers. So one of them are going to produce organic fertilizers, the other are going to produce organic food, and we're going to have, like, let's say, an internal market for them. Why do we do it? Because of empathy, pretty much, and because of justice. We believe that everyone should have the access to healthy food at an affordable price, and that we can keep existing or living as a civilization without harming the environment and other species.
Okay, thank you. That's wonderful. And congratulations to everybody on their incredible work and their incredible projects and businesses that are flourishing, that I'm very excited to keep following. Now, as we get ready to go through the second half of our presentation, I wanted you to just take a moment and pop in the chat your project or business website, or your contact on social media, so that we can all stay in touch and help each other in this process of scaling. Because the two messages I wanted to really get home to you all today is that, in my experience, when it comes to scaling a business and making impact, finding investors or partners, the purpose behind the business, the story, your story, and the people that you have in your circle and your team are incredibly critical. Okay, so we need to continue with our relationships today and going forward in helping each other tell our stories. Now, that being said, I hope you enjoyed that little piece of interaction, and you've learned a little bit more about each other and your stories. There is a book by Simon Sinek, which is Find Your Way, and it's a practical guide for discovering your purpose for yourself and your team. And I really think it's a good book. If you haven't read it before, it would be a good investment to help in curating your story for yourself, your team, and your investors. Okay. So yeah, Anna, if you do me the favor to continue with the next slide. And so I've done this in a very practical way, hoping that it will be useful to you in executing a sustainable vision. And in executing your sustainable vision, it's about, choosing now to scale. You feel like you're ready to scale, or you will be planning to scale sometime soon. So I've done this in a way that you can keep this slide later on in planning your foundation. I'm assuming that you may already have your business plan and you're now planning your scale. And this is your first 6 months, starting from January 2021. And this is what you need to execute a scale up of your business or your project. So identifying, just 1 second. I hope you can still hear me, but I'm going ahead. Identifying your starting point, which is your why. What needs to happen at this point is reviewing your existing business plan, if you have one, your financials, and identifying your operational and skill gaps. In January, you can aim to do this in terms of building your foundations. In February, creating an advisory board. If you haven't got one already, it's important to have the people around you. Remember I said purpose and people are winning aspects of scaling a project. So understanding which skills and personalities are needed to join an advisory board. And by way of the advisory board, what you'd be aiming to have is seeking visionary individuals with specialist skills and expertise in a discipline that will support the growth and expansion of your project or your business. By March 2021, develop a very clear strategic vision and initiatives. So you revisit your vision, you revisit your strategy, and you develop and execute your plan. It may include applying for grants or building relationships for investment potential. You should have a timeline with regards for your investments or your project. By April 2021, you could be looking at enlisting community champions. Again, I'll stress the people and the purpose is important. You're only going to get to the community champions and people who support you, want to invest in you, if they truly understand your vision, that they truly understand you as an individual and why you're doing the work you do. Not only do they understand it, but they're willing to buy into it. So April 2021, we enlist community champions, train your operational team, and provide a structure and direction to inspire them to engage. Manage your stakeholders with regular communication, and that could be through a blog, it could be through a podcast, it could be through a live series, you know, it could be through a regular newsletter that you send out, but having regular conversation and engagement with your stakeholders. Hey, I'm still here. This is what we're working on. This year we're scaling. We want you to be a part of it. May 2021, empower action through engagement. Here you can run an awareness and a fundraising campaign or an investment campaign to support the vision and develop interest in it could be a social franchise model, it could be your business model, your project, or your community initiative. Speak to government. You could speak to governments, speak to your key stakeholders in your regional jurisdiction, and identify regional ambassadors in any location that might be interested in your model. The key here by June 2021 is to start to really build your exposure. Okay, if anybody has any questions, then feel free to ask. If not, I'm gonna go straight on. Now, the second part of the year, 2021, July, we create a sustainable acceleration to support the setup of your model. It could be it could be a franchise, it could be your investment model, whatever your model is. We're looking now to accelerate and bringing the vision that you have to life. That's your vision to scale. And by August, you can start to work with governments and NGOs and private sectors to embed your model, your business, and your project into the sustainable development plans of the community. So in part of your research, you should be looking to see, okay, what does my country, what does my community have as its priorities for sustainable development? And how does my business or my project fit into that? Create that link and build on it. Create a partnership and build on it. September 2021, get an endorsement from the United Nations. Aim high. Look for stakeholders that are operating in your space that are looking for activities and projects that can support their own missions. And the United Nations and the Sustainable Development Goals are such organizations. I know, for instance, the United Nations Ocean Decade is 2021 to 2030, and right now they're looking for projects that they can endorse. Okay, so again, do your research, look for stakeholders and organizations that can give you an endorsement. It could even be individuals, key influencers, or market leaders that can endorse you as well. So October 2021, inspire action and social activism, and you can identify public speaking opportunities to continue to raise funds and awareness. Yeah, so try to get out there and share your stories, whether or not you do it voluntarily or you're paid to do it, but just really be active to tell your stories. And again, that goes right back to your why and being able to really connect with the audience and your and the people who support you or you want to support you. November 2021, empower action. So you start a regional plan, you can start a regional activity or even a conference, a knowledge network to really empower action for your mission. What we're working on now in the latter part of the year is creating a legacy to the work that you're now scaling. And finally, and continuously, is tell your story. Start to plan how you're going to tell your story on a global platform and continue to operate a sustainable leading practice with key partners and stakeholders. And that's why it's really good that you've attended this workshop and that you're also a part of the POP movement and the POP family. Because having these types of collaborations, global collaborations, do make a considerable difference. Okay, so that's tell your story. And I'm sharing this with you from a place of experience. And I wouldn't have gotten to this year being an Ocean Award finalist in the Global Ocean Awards with Blue Marine Foundation and Boat International had it not been for the fact that from day one, as you saw in that video, I was telling my story. To this day, I continue to tell my story. And this is very important in terms of the networks we build and how we go about scaling our businesses and models. Okay, so the next is now we're going to have our final breakout room, and we did our task already for January 2021, which is knowing our why, right? So this why we're going to build on, and we're going to be able to say it off the tip of our tongues. When you meet an investor, when you meet a partner, when you meet a stakeholder, this is what I'm about. This is what I do, how I do it. This is why I do it. I want you to be a part of this. You have an opportunity to support me. You have an opportunity to invest in me. This is a big deal. And that we are making a difference. These are some of the key messaging that you need to sit and speak to your team about. And when it comes to the team, again, I wanted to leave with you, if you remember one thing from this workshop, is that your purpose and your people are critical to scaling your business or your project or your community initiatives. And I think there is a lot of value in the advisory board members you choose to have. I wanted us, in our second breakout group, we have another 10 minutes, which will take us to the end. It might have to be a little bit less because we are a little bit close for time. So let's say 5 minutes to go into breakout rooms and select to talk a little bit about the skills and personalities you'd want for an advisory member, some of the benefits you would give to your advisory member or an advisory member would have, and what you'd expect of your advisory members. Okay, 5 minutes, let's go ahead.
The same breakout rooms?
Yes, please.
Okay. I think you must have got a request. You may join.
My dear young friends, I wanted to be with you, and it would have been wonderful to share everything that you're doing. Unfortunately, I have not been able to do it on account of certain factors. However, I wanted to convey to you some very important facts and some very important ideas, which I hope will motivate you and get you to start taking action on something that is going to be part of the pop movement all over the world. I was chairman of the IPCC from 2002 to 2015, during the course of which we were able to spread awareness on the science of climate change. And in fact, it was in 2007 that I had the privilege of receiving the Nobel Peace Prize on behalf of the IPCC. And I want to tell you that what we brought out in our various reports, and they are still coming out as extremely effective pieces of scientific information.
Honoring the IPCC through the grant of the Nobel Peace Prize in 2007, in essence, can be seen as a clarion call for the protection of the Earth as it faces the widespread impacts of climate change. The choice of the panel for this signal honor is, in our view, an acknowledgement of three important realities which can be summed up as: 1, the power and promise of collective scientific endeavor, which is demonstrated by the IPCC and can reach across national boundaries and political differences in the pursuit of objectives defining the larger good of human society. 2, the importance of the role of knowledge in shaping public policy and guiding global affairs for the sustainable development of human society. 3, an acknowledgement of the threats to stability and human security inherent in the impacts of a changing climate, and therefore the need for developing an effective rationale for timely and adequate action to avoid such threats in the future.
Is the fact that if we don't stop what we have been doing in the past, if we don't mitigate the emissions of greenhouse gases and carbon dioxide in particular, we will have some very serious consequences and impacts of climate change. What would these be? Well, firstly, we're going to get heat waves. You've seen the extreme heat wave that took place in Europe just this year, and also parts of North America. We will have extreme precipitation events, which means you'll have flooding, you'll have mudslides, you will have excessive rain, and absolute damage when it comes to human life and property. I also want to highlight the fact that there will be sea level rise related extreme events. And if you look at various parts of the world, there will be water shortages, there will be droughts, and can you imagine if we're going to get a whole large increase in population of the world, let's say to 10 or 10.5 billion by the middle of this century, where will we get the food to feed all those mouths? And for that, we also need some major lifestyle changes, including changes in diet, and that I'll come to in a very short while. But what I would like to highlight is that it is schools, institutions of various kinds, colleges, universities that can be the center of action. Because not only will this give you a basis for believing in yourself, but also making sure that you're able to carry out advocacy with leaders. Just think of the fact that there are 1.8 billion youth between the ages of 11 and 24. And if they were to really get down to action, if they were to create models of institutions everywhere, then clearly that would have a major impact all over the world. So what I want to request you to do is to see that you get involved with the POP movement, you make sure that you cut down on emissions of carbon dioxide, reduce your own carbon footprint, and make sure that there is very little waste in human activities. I mean, as you're aware, it's been projected that by 2050, there'll be more plastic in the oceans than fish. And there'll also be a major loss of biodiversity. If that happens, there's going to be disease, there are going to be health problems, there will also be major impacts on food supply. So I want to appeal to you, I want to request you And I join you in making sure that the pop movement does exactly what Mahatma Gandhi has said, be the change you want to see in the world. So I want all of you to be the change that you want to see in this whole world, and you will then have a wonderful time. You will then have a future that is sustainable, a future that is safe and that is secure. So muchas gracias, thank you very much, and I look forward to working with you in the future and to seeing that you carry out all the tasks that the pop movement is all about. Thank you.
Soy originario de una comunidad llamada Tijosuco, perteneciente al municipio de Felipe Carrillo IV del estado de Quintana Roo. Soy originario maya yucateco, tengo la lengua maya como materna.
Mi nombre es Balmore Sanco, pueblo indígena es el Salpo, departamento de Sonsonate, en El Salvador.
Mi nombre es Natalia Tanguila. Actualmente estoy con el cargo de presidenta de mi comunidad quichua de Atacape, de acá de la provincia de Napo, del Ecuador.
Habían partidos que decían, mira, pero tú no eres indígena porque eres blanco. O negaban inclusive la existencia de indígenas en los territorios donde nosotros hemos estado acá.
No es de que cojamos y tejamos por tejer. A veces piensan la gente de que nos vestimos porque quizás ellos dicen de la manera que nos dé la regalada gana, pero para nosotros es muy significativo, valioso, porque nuestros padres, abuelos, ancestros vivían con esta tradición.
El reto también a estar en la sociedad, a ser escuchados y a ser parte de ella con nuestras características culturales diferentes. Y además de eso, otro de los mayores retos es cómo enfrentamos o cómo hacemos que en los programas y las políticas de gobierno se ponga la visión indígena y se pare todo, pues, aquellos proyectos de muerte. ¿Por qué? Porque están talando nuestros bosques, hay caza furtiva todavía, hay comunidades amenazadas, se están construyendo represas. Entonces, y el gobierno se queda así como que con los ojos tapados, solo dejando que esto pase. Y otro reto también es fortalecer nuestro idioma materno, porque poco a poco se va perdiendo. Otro de los retos que nosotros tenemos es implementar un sistema de educación intercultural, donde nuestras Nancy y nuestras tatas puedan ser parte de este sistema de educación, y además de eso, puedan ser ellos los tamastianis, o como nosotros decimos, el tamastianis profesor, idóneos, que enseñen a la comunidad. Y otro también es el tema mujer. ¿Cómo se valoriza o cómo se respeta el tema de la mujer indígena en esta sociedad? Ya no se tiene que ver como la vendedora de fruta, ya no se tiene que ver como la que va a hacer aseo a la casa, sino que se tiene que ver como una mujer empoderada que puede producir, que puede aportar a la economía indígena, que es dadora de vida y además de eso guardiana de nuestras tradiciones orales, costumbres, tradiciones, medicina. Esos son los retos. Nosotros somos seres que vemos en la naturaleza el todo y nos comunicamos a través de ella.
Más sol, más calor. De igual forma, pues la reforestación que constantemente los seres humanos lo estamos haciendo y lo estamos atacando mucho a nuestra madre naturaleza. igual forma no le estamos cuidando los ríos y de igual forma no le estamos cuidando nuestra flora y fauna, nuestros animalitos. Entonces ha sido muy, muy duro para nosotros como pueblos y nacionalidades.
No la hemos provocado nosotros. Las comunidades indígenas, al contrario, han sido guardianes, han sido protectores de lo que es el medio ambiente, por el mismo concepto que tenemos de la cosmogonía y la espiritualidad, del respeto a los elementales, a la tierra, al agua, al fuego, el viento. Y cada uno es un ser espiritual muy fuerte, muy poderoso, y que uno pues siempre cuando va a realizar algo desde que amanece, se les pide permiso, se da gracias a la vida, se da gracias al gran Ajao por estas bendiciones que uno recibe, por cada día que amanece, por cada grano de maíz, el canto de las aves, por cada árbol que podemos ver, abrazar, sentir.
So hello everybody, I'm back. I got knocked out by mistake. I'm so sorry. But I am hoping that you can hear me again.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, wonderful. We've pretty much run out of time. I hope this session was very useful for you. I'm not sure if I have a moment to go through the last, to just do a quick overview, but again, remember your people and your purpose is important to telling your story. One of the questions that was asked was around how to connect with an advisory group. How do we do that? And using the networks that we currently have, telling our stories and just asking direct. We have the Pop family here. Who are extremely connected in the ocean conservation world, as well as all of us. So please feel free, drop your contacts in the chat. And remember that our stories are important. They're an important part of the why discovery for yourselves and for your team. And they can be stories that you have built as a child and in adulthood, as long as they've played an important part in shaping who you are and your business has become. So share your story as much as possible. You can follow me at Vita Wade on Instagram. And I'm going to also put my event that we're doing in November, which is free for the ages of 25 up to 25-year-olds, that you can join to do with Blue Economy Potentials. It's another space to network, share your stories. And I'm hoping very much you have all great success in scaling your businesses. Blessings upon your journey. Again, my name is Vita, and it's been my absolute pleasure. You can follow me, as I said, on Vita Wade at Instagram. To the Pop family, thank you so much for having me again. And I hope this session has been very useful.
Thank you, Vita. It's been
Thank you so much, Vita. Yes, the session was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm sure all the participants here benefited from these reflections that we did in the breakout rooms. So we really thank you for your time and for your leadership.
Thank you,
You're
Vita.
welcome.
And your inspiration, really.
Definitely.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. My pleasure. Everybody have a great weekend.
And you do too. Stay safe.
Vita. You too.
You too.
Have a good weekend.
Take care.
Blessings.
Soon, Vita. Thank you.
Perfect.
Cuídate mucho,
Thank you.
hermano.
I hope everyone, sorry. I hope everyone enjoyed this last workshop. So now we will move on to the last session of this event that has been going on for 8 weeks. No, 4 weeks, 8 sessions. And what we will do is we will have some participants present their projects. So our first participant who will share their project will be Salma. Before we start sharing the projects, I want to thank you all for your time and for being so enthusiastic throughout the whole journey. We know the time may have been short for creating a project. So what we will do is in 3 weeks' time, we will have another session if anyone else wants to show their projects. So we will have a session dedicated entirely to showcasing your projects. If you showcase it today, you still have the chance of showcasing it in the session further on if you want to if you have advanced or if you want to show it with more detail or anything, you're more than welcome to do it. Okay, so without further ado, we have many people who would like to present, so I will share Salma's presentation. Okay, you can go ahead, Salma.
Okay. And I'm going to, just so you know, I'm going to be timing the presentation. So you have 7 minutes, and I will give you a warning when there's 1 minute left.
Okay, thank you, Anna and Marisa. Well, my idea for project, it is called Ocean Action and Advocacy, a big issue to care about it during the pandemic. I've been working in this from the beginning, and Vanessa is my mentor. So next. Well, my 2020 is going to pass to the story. I think that's the pandemic year with so many people focus on the loss of human lives and economic problems, but I think that there are so many problems more. That's why I want to chart the pandemic impacts on the oceans, both the negatives and positive, because I think that there is like the yin yang of the pandemic. There are good things, but there are also bad things. Next. Okay, well, I like the negative effects are like that I have been seeing is illegal fisheries, the loss of biodiversity, and habitat degradation. Here I see that so many illegal fisheries have been using the opportunity to explore the areas because, well, so many governments stopped the or reduce the people in oceans, like police and all that people. So that's why illegal fisheries use this opportunity. Here are these spots are from illegal fisheries in the Gulf of California, no, in the Gulf of Mexico. And the solution that I am focusing on that it is in environment and education, coexistence and awareness between humanity and nature. Next. And my goal is to generate and promote environmental education through the dissemination of these impacts. Next. Well, what I want to do, my objective is to improve the better coexistence between humanity and natural environments, reduce the negative impacts and increase the positive ones, awareness the people about the loss of biodiversity and natural habitats, of course, decrease the employment of single-use plastic, and warranty a better environmental for the future and upcoming generations. Next. Well, my methodology in the short term, I want to develop a video and presentations for kids and teenagers. Here in Mexico, we are still in lockdown, so many classes are on Zoom of Meet. I would like to ask to teachers if they allow me to present it during the classes. I think this is a good idea because, well, so many kids are curious about this, and it could be a good way to explain the situation. And in medium term is to present the video and results of these talks in the Pop Festival in December. Next. Okay, so here is like the process resume. Here was create a video. I'm thinking about 2 weeks, the next 2 weeks. Then in November, present the video and talks. Ideally, it could be one daily, or depending on the demand, like 2 or 3 a week. in December, present to host the pop festival. And at the end, I think that my project will be one more initiative about the youth-led ocean action and advocacy. So it could be like one more voice. Next. And well, I'm gonna see the results in the reach of social media because, well, now everything is in social media, so I could post the video on YouTube and Facebook, the number of dogs and kids that assist or that I share this, and the video views of social media and talks for kids and teenagers in her classes. And I think that that's all. Next. I see, yeah, thank you. That is next. If someone have comments and or suggestions, they are welcome because, well, I am starting this, so it could be great if I receive more ideas.
Great.
Thank you so
Absolutely.
much for sharing.
Thank you.
That's a really, really nice project. Ash, would you like to say something?
Yeah, no, I was just saying it was absolutely wonderful. And I think it's, you know, I know at early stages, but very, very nicely thought through. And, you know, nice trajectory. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, wonderful. Well done.
Yes, congratulations on such an amazing project. I think it's your action plan is really well thought out, and you will definitely be able to reach all of these stepping stones that you put on your project. So thank you for sharing it with us.
Thank you. Yeah, the idea is to develop the project in alliance with SOA Mexico. IbrahÃ is gonna talk about it, and of course with Bob. And well, if
Awesome,
more
that
people
sounds
want to join, they are welcome.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much, Salma.
Beautiful
Thank you,
spirit
all of
too.
you.
Yeah, no, I like
Thank
that.
you, Vanessa, for all the help.
Excellent. You.
Okay, so
You
next
did
up we
everything.
have. Oh, sorry.
Congratulations. No.
We will also be able to have a discussion in the end, so that way we can also share a bit more like about comments and everything. But so our next presenter will be Zoe.
Okay, and can you allow me to share screen, please?
Yes, let me make you co-host. I don't know why it's not letting me, but give me 1 second. Okay, you should be able to share now.
Yeah. Okay.
Zoe, are you able to share? Okay, there we go. Thank you.
I already shared.
Okay, I'm gonna start timing you, Zoe.
Okay, so my project, this is my project. What's the problem? Well, the problem is that in the last year, global temperature has increased exponentially, generating the phenomenon that we know like global warming or climate change. A phenomenon that, if people around the world don't change their lifestyle into a more sustainable one, a worldwide catastrophe will end with human race. Also, it should be noted that the information in government and from a lot of countries is not true at all, or it's denied, well, assuming that they are not trying to shut up because they don't want the people to know how big the problem is. How big is the problem? Well, it is enormous. All human race depends on the fact that if the problem is not solved and it's solved unnecessary, well, the responsibility of every single person is to adopt a more sustainable way of life so we can try to stabilize world environment. How I intend to solve it, and my idea of contribution to the problem is to organize awareness and action brigades, which are expected to aware people on how they can reduce their environmental footprint so climate change can be reduced. Also, I'm going to organize action brigades in which people at the state where I live will do several things, such as protests for climate change pacifically, of course, clean up streets and public spaces, colillatones, well, they are like activities in where people picks up the stubs from cigarettes, and to do informative campaigns related to the 2030 Agenda and Sustainable Development Goals. How would I recruit volunteers? Well, I would post the announcement on my social media. Also, I would ask for help from well-known organizations and institutes at the state so they can help me to spread the message. And well, until now, I've got several allies that are the ambassadors 20 for the 2030 Agenda in Querétaro, the organization of Escazú Ahora, ODS Kids, the Youth Secretary, and Mexican Youth Against Climate Change. That's all the presentation of my project.
Very good.
Thank you, Zoe. Thank you so much for sharing. Go ahead, Ash.
No, I was going to say that's amazing that there's also strong partnerships in place, and I know that it's nascent in terms of planning, Zoe, but you've thought this through very carefully, I can tell, and I think leveraging a lot of those partnerships would be key in this process. So very nicely thought through.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you so much, Zoe, for sharing that with us. Now our next presenter will be Meda Hope. I will share her presentation now.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Meda Hope from Uganda. I'm going to present to you the project for Hitachi Africa together with Wandera, Destine, Osteen. So our project is on the 3 R's and environmental migration by Hitachi Africa. We saw the need and took the lead. That's our motto. Project overview on plastics. We've realized that plastics are having a great impact on climate change, and it has had a special effect on the social economic impact worldwide. As an organization, we've carried out a survey concerning the increase in the littering waste of the materials, especially plastics. We noted that plastics have rapidly deteriorated the aesthetical aspects of the environment, degraded the soil, which is a major contributor to the flourishing agriculture in Uganda, and done so much harm. The masses lack the knowledge on how to dispose waste materials, and if action cannot be taken now, then a bleak future is in store for us. So you can see the image right next to the presentation. Yes, next slide. Environmental migration, we are addressing environmental migration as well. Environmental migration too is as a result of climate change, and we are more of concentrating on the factors that have led to environmental migration and effects. We are specializing in the Karamoja sub-region, which receives rainfall of about 750 millimeters per year. And the region has been more of into culture, which is highly prioritized. And in addition, there is an alarming illiteracy rate. The outcomes, child labor, increased prostitution amongst youth, early and forced marriages. One's wealth is measured by the number of livestock, and since poverty is widespread in the region, most girls are married off at an early age in exchange for dowry. This leads to child abuse and harassment since they are being denied their rights as children, as seen in the picture. Yes, so next to Destine, who is going to present the objectives.
All right. My name is Wandera, Destine Osteen, and I'm presenting the objectives of the project. Well, the first is to address the issue of climate change by getting rid of plastics, to share knowledge concerning waste management, yes, with fellow youth so as to have litter-free environments, to create alternative employment opportunities for the youth, to improve the livelihoods of youth economically, to share knowledge in the area of nutrition, thus promoting food security and promote sex education. I think that's like very direct and plain. You cannot understand it. The next slide, please. Thank you. I'll yield the floor back to Meda.
Strategic objectives of the organization we are attaining. The organization is having an objective to do with environmental conservation, which is to promote environmental conservation through the recycling of non-biodegradable materials like plastic into environmentally friendly innovations, to advocate against all forms of pollution, to promote wildlife conservation, to promote food security through nutrition sensitization amongst youth by 2030. I yield the floor to Destine for the next.
All right, how we are addressing the issue. Well, we aim at promoting the 3 R's, which are reduce, recycle, and reuse. Reducing the rate of plastics, how they're littered by educating the masses on waste management to ensure proper disposal of litter. Recycling the wastes by converting plastics into more valuable materials that can be sold, to improve the livelihoods of youth. Reusing the plastics and selling them back to the manufacturers, where we're also addressing the issue of environmental migration by providing alternative economic activities to the masses, thus hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. Next slide, please.
The beneficiaries of the project. We are having 3 R's, whereby we are recycling. We are working with recycling companies, so they'll benefit from this because they'll be able to obtain back their plastic and recycle them into other innovations they would want. And then 40 youth in each of the 3 districts we are operating, whereby we shall have both males and females to bring in the aspect of gender equality. Next. We are going to have an estimate for environmental migration. We are having an estimate of 500 parents and guardians and 100 youth from each of the 3 districts. That is 50 females and 50 males and 100 other youth. This is going to be helped to be achieved by the LC1 local councils. Next slide. And then for the sessions, I would like this to take
All right, talk about the sessions.
You have 1 more minute. Who's going to talk about the sessions?
All right. For the sessions, the team will train youth on promoting the thematic areas, food security and kitchen gardening. We shall also have introduced the idea of beehives, whereby we shall be addressing the issue of crop failure. We shall also have empowerment sessions, whereby we shall be addressing the issues of the effects of climate change to society. We are also going to do recycling of materials whereby plastics will be sorted out and sold back to manufacturers. And we shall also be able to get the income that you get from selling the plastics to be used for addressing the issue in the Karamoja sub-region. The team will also train innovations whereby youth will be trained on different alternatives out of plastic that will sell to generate income. We'll also have seminars training on waste management. Yes.
Mira, would you like me to share the video or should we go straight to the declaration?
Video.
The video? Yes? Okay. Okay, give me 1 second.
Great, Meda. That was absolutely stunning, as always.
Give me 1 second.
Quit. You deciding to keep going. Most people quit. That's why they call it failure. But really, there's only you deciding to quit. You deciding to keep going or you dying. There's no failure. If you don't succeed the first time, decide to keep going a second time. If you don't succeed the second time, decide to keep going a third time, fourth, fifth. Change your path, not your goal. Work harder, work smarter, try something new, get advice.
Yeah. All right. So thank you so much. I think we should just have the small declaration and I'll yield the floor back to the Pope group.
Okay.
All right, so usually when we make presentations, sorry, this hasn't been as perfect, but usually we have this declaration as a team. So I'm requesting that you all unmute our microphones and make this declaration as a team. All right, so we are going to recite this. I am not
too old or
Too
too young
old or too young to achieve my dream.
to achieve my dream.
The change I want to
Change you want to see. That's with me.
I
am enough.
Enough. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Meda. It was so amazing. I love the declaration.
Excellent.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for that, Meda, and for putting it together. I know, you know, in a few hours, but obviously with a lot of detailed thinking, and I thought it was really, really fantastic.
It's fine. Thank you so much for listening to me.
You look great, Meda. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Meda. It was really good. Okay,
Thank
up
you.
next we have Karla Perez with her project.
Can I share screen?
Yes, of course. You should be able to.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So I am going to talk to you about this amazing worldwide NGO I'm working with named Sustainable Ocean Alliance, better known as DomÃ Mexico, and I am going to present you this strategic plan for these following years with IbrahÃ Rodriguez. So our vision is to become a role model on developing ocean solutions that tackles global focused environmental issues locally, as well as one of the most impactful ocean activist groups in Mexico. Our mission is to advance the mission and campaigns of the Sustainable Ocean Alliance. And we do this by implementing environmental education and citizen science programs in order to spread an ocean conservation message by means of three powerful approaches that are engage, empower, and inspire. Well, so we are a group of young activists concerned about the environmental crisis who are willing to take climate actions in order to conserve the wildlife and develop innovative solutions for the world's ocean health. And I will now give the floor to IbrahÃ Rodriguez.
Sure. So I'm going to talk about our campaigns and programs right now. We will have 3 major lines of action. There's going to be science outreach, members engagement programs, and strategic alliances. Within science outreach, what we want to do is we want to share this knowledge with the community. Right now, due to the pandemic, we're going to do it in a virtually dynamic way through the use of social media mainly. Within the members engagement programs, it will actually consist of efforts to grow a multifaceted, skilled, and enthusiastic group of activists. As Karla already said, we want to really become a role model within Mexico and the world. And the strategic alliances will mainly consist of organizing a partnership-focused working group that will allow us to collaborate with other conservation groups or such as NGOs worldwide, and together spread a powerful and stronger message. So for our goals and within the hub operations goals, we want to create a member database system showing these members' main abilities that enables also the community to easily communicate with us based on states and interests. So for example, we're gonna have 2 other sub-lines of action. It's going to become communication alliances. So if someone is interested in working more in the communication side, they will actually have the opportunity to grow this skill. And then with this lines of action, we want to create a new leadership team tasked with creating a set of resources that will also support 10 to 30 members over the next year. While we do the recruiting, we want to create this new leadership team, and we want to create a consistent, reliable, and repeatable set of resources that will allow the community to recreate what we really want to do as the environmental education and citizen science programs that we're developing right now, because we think that the lack of education is a major issue in the planet. So we want to focus on this so that we can reach more people around the world. The next one, please. For member engagement goals, we want to establish self-sustaining working groups with the respective chairs, so that when new members come to the team, they should know who to direct their messages. And also, we want to offer these new members training sessions so they can offer the same as climate advocates to the public, meanwhile growing this amazing network of youth leaders. Also, we want to create a reliable pattern so that quarterly chapters meetups can be held and that we can give feedback to others. And the third major line of action is going to be strategic alliances. And I think this is a truly important one because we can join projects that are already settled down in order to reach a bigger target audience. And also we could learn from them. It's going to be a win-win situation. And well, just to develop a network of conservation groups working and developing ocean solutions together, because I think all of us can be part of the change, and if we work together, we could do a greater job.
Well, that's it.
Fantastic.
And also, we really want to thank you all for allowing us to be here and to share this with you.
Yes, it's such a great knowledge, and we are very happy and very excited to grow and to become a role model.
So it's very mutual. So we have you to thank, and congratulations on this terrific, very strategic perspective and plan. And you know, I wanted to say that you can count on our support as you roll out, and I'm sure achieve lots. We're privileged and honored. So thank you so much. It was really great. Karla, IbrahÃ, both of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you both so much. That was a really interesting presentation, and I'm really happy to see how SOA Mexico is progressing and all the amazing work you're doing and you plan on doing. So thank you so much for sharing. Finally, we have one last person presenting, who will be Ransom. So Ivan, if you want to present your project.
Hello, everyone. First of all, I want to thank you all for being here and for presenting your projects, which are amazing. Thank you also to the Pop family, to Ash, and to Komal, who is our group mentor. Mainly, you have helped us a lot. So thank you all for being here. Also, I want to apologize. I didn't prepare a presentation for this, but I'm going to talk you about our project. So let's start with the problematic. The thing that has led to the situation, to the current situation of the world, is mainly the way that we produce and consume. This is a society that has been producing, first of all, exploiting the planet, the resources, and consuming in a way that it's just unsustainable. The way that we produce is also linked to the extinction of many species and to the erosion of the soil, to the pollution in the air, in the water. And that's something that we want to tackle. We are so interested in reducing the rate, well, even to cut the rate in which the species are going extinct. We are also really concerned about the people that are not able to have food on their homes, and this is like a problem also of empathy. That's why our project is revolving around this thing that seems like a T. This is called bio, and it's an organic fertilizer that comes out from biodigester. How does this ecotechnology works? Where you put organic waste into this biodigester, which is like a huge bag, and you put water on it, and there are some bacteria there which will degrade these nutrients and create an organic liquid fertilizer, and also biogas. So people can use this biogas and use it instead of the LP gas that is used usually at homes, and that comes from non-renewable sources. And also we have this bio which can be used as a replacement of the synthetic fertilizers that are based on oil. So our project is called Resilience 2020, and this project is about creating a new way of producing and consuming, a new way of connecting with other people and living or trying to develop a way in which we can live connected also with nature and in harmony with it. So how does it work? We go to homes and put eco-technologies. We are currently using 5 eco-technologies, which are water catchment systems, solar heater, compost, greenhouses, and biodigester. In this stage, our main focus is on biodigester, is like the keystone of our project. We install these eco-technologies for free and at those homes, and then we're going to buy this bio from the people. We're going to take this bio to the farmers so that they can produce organic products, which are also healthier for the environment and for the people. In this way, we're going to reduce soil erosion because the synthetic fertilizers that are usually used really affect a lot. And also we are going to encourage the use of compost and like eco-friendly herbicides and stuff that are not going to harm even more the environment, so that people can produce organic products. Also, something that is happening, and not only in Mexico but worldwide, is the waste of food. So another thing that farmers are struggling with is that they can't place their products in the market because of lack of infrastructure, of sometimes resources from them, or also time. So they sometimes tend to are depending on people who are like retailers. They are buying products from them and selling it in the cities. However, sometimes these people are not giving them enough money for the products, and sometimes they even prefer to let them rot in the fields instead of selling them because of this unfairness. So we are going to sell this bile at a competitive price for them, some price that is going to be at the same, well, yeah, at the same price as the synthetic fertilizers that they are using. And also we are going to buy from them these organic products in a fair trade scheme. So they're going to be getting this, well, the money that they deserve for their work, and that is, well, the actual value of their products. And then we're going to take that and sell it in the cities to homes and restaurants that then they can produce. Also, they can put the organic waste into the biodigesters, and from them the cycle starts again. They're going to start producing bile, and we're going to take this to the fields. So this is how the project goes. Okay.
1 more minute.
We are also, well, the project is huge. I mean, the potential or the scaling of the project is huge because it's a simple but powerful idea that can be easily replicated in other places. This project also impacts in the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. On one way or another, there are some that impact more, some that less, but in the end, it's going to have a huge impact in the whole, well, with all the stakeholders. And also, we are focusing on one of the things that makes our project different from others in the competitors, for saying something, it's that we offer this implementation for free. We are not charging anything to implement our eco technologies at homes, because we want it to be let's say affordable for everyone. We want everyone to be benefited with it, and so that people can produce also their own food at homes, that people can have an extra income for selling us the bile, and that they can have healthier food for them and for their families. We are also looking for people to connect, to make alliances. Something that also helped us to grow our project a lot was alliances and working with people like-minded. That's something that I'm going to talk to you about later after this session, but alliances have been huge support for us, and starting with the pop family, with the pop movement, which also this project started because of them. So thank you very much.
Thank you, hermano. That's a beautiful presentation and an incredible, initiative. And if I may add a couple of things to your presentation, so everyone knows. One is that, yes, while Resilience 2020 is focused on 5 technologies as things stand, the idea is also to potentially explore more technologies going forward. And the other is that while a lot of things have been presented in the future as though they're going to happen, and they will, the important thing is that it has actually rolled out, and it kicked off on the 13th of September officially. So I just wanted to also congratulate you for that, and the Resilience 2020 family. Wonderful. Thank you. Muchas gracias, hermano. I'm very, very proud of everything you do. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And for the next session, we're going to prepare proper presentation. Sorry for that.
No, this is terrific. Thank you. Absolutely fantastic.
Thank you so much for
In fact,
sharing, Ivan. Go ahead, Ash. Sorry.
Thank you. No, please, Anna.
Oh, I was just gonna say that thank you so much for sharing. I think the project is amazing, and I like how it focuses on many aspects regarding sustainability and helping people live more sustainable lives and have more sustainable livelihoods in their houses. So congratulations for such an amazing project and thinking of sustainability as a whole.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic.
We have 15 minutes to make a discussion. So we, if you have any questions for the people who have shown their projects, if there's, if you want to share, whoever wasn't able to share their project today and would like to share further on, would like to share just a little of their idea, everyone's welcome to speak.
Sure. Okay. No problem.
Something that I wanted to tell you with your initiatives is that something that helped us a lot was creating a multidisciplinary team. So Kevin and I, who started the project in POP, are biologists, both of us, but we have like knowledge about sustainability, about the environment, about conservation and stuff. But our project wouldn't have reached the potential that it has if it wasn't by, well, first, all the support, as I was saying, of the POP family, of our mentors, of this amazing group, but also because we connected with people from other areas. We have an engineering team which are developing a new model of a biodigester. That's something that we as a biologist wouldn't have been able to do. Also, we have a brilliant marketing campaign that is going to launch the project worldwide before the end of the year. And we will haven't been able to do this without the help of Alma, who is the marketing part of our project. So something that I wanted to suggest you for all your projects is to try to create a team that is composed for like more people that from other disciplines that can help you to grow your project like in a ways that we as individuals usually don't do. And climate change is actually a problem so complex that it needs people from all the backgrounds. And I'm not only talking about like people that goes to university and stuff. Also people from different backgrounds and different mindsets, and like diversity in general, it's paramount in order to tackle climate change. So that's like my suggestion for all of you.
Thank you, Ivan. I think you raise a really good point. That's really important to have a multidisciplinary team, because I think people with different backgrounds have different points of views, and all of them are really helpful in moving a project forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. And I want to say, if I may, that communication campaign is in fact extremely creative. And certainly I do agree that the technology and the engineering is par excellence. I think a lot of the designs have been so carefully thought through, as is the implementation, but very, very creative strategies. And that's one of the things that I want to bring up, because in today's world, having access to as many innovative, creative mechanisms and approaches is so important. So yeah, great example, and we're looking forward to the more detailed approach, where I'm sure everybody will learn. Thank you so much, Hermano, for sharing that.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Definitely. Thank you so much. If anyone else would like to share any other advice or would have any other questions for the participants, feel free to open your mics and speak.
Yeah, please do. Anybody else who'd like to, even if it's an idea and or any opportunities or challenges that you want to discuss or explore, feel free to do that, please. Okay.
I have a question.
Please.
What will be your advices to get funding?
Sure. I think in terms of looking at funding, again, one needs to be very creative. I'll say in general, getting the first grant is probably the hardest, but the most important, because normally what happens is when you get one, then you find that there's a flow and there are more. And that's typically also a donor mindset. The moment they see that there's one source of support, there's a tendency for others to flock to it. So that's a really important thing to think about. You know, how and what sources, how and where can one look for funding? Potentially, there are so many. You could look at philanthropists, you can look at investors, you can look at donors, you can look at you know, delivering like delivering a workshop and receiving a fee for it. So, you know, I'm going to say try and look at as many creative ways to be able to approach this. Sponsorships, if you're conducting, you know, activities or whatever, there's ways of looking at sponsorships. I know that this is an area that is challenging, but yet there's a lot of funds out there. So it's about being creative as well.
Ash,
Thank you.
Yeah, I was thinking about finding funding and how challenging it can, like, it's so hard to know where to get started, even if you've been a professional in this field for a long time. So I don't know if you have any additional suggestions or if people should maybe engage advisors and mentors, or, you know, that I just do think that's a hard path to get started on.
Some other thing that you could do to get funds, once you prepare like a video and that your project is maybe developed enough, you can ask for like donadora kind of projects or crowdfunding in general, so that people that support your project can donate, and you don't need like someone like making, let's say, a compromise, but they can just, and it's also really nice because many people are involved into that and they can donate as much as they want. And yeah, that's another option, the crowdfunding.
Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah.
I think with Salma, like finding funding is an easy thing. I don't know especially if you go to school, because for example, for a project that I had last December, we had to like engage. Most of our funding was found from our peers, whereby, you know, once you educate people on what you are doing and they find motive or reason to support you through maybe the past activities you've had, or the way you've motivated them and shared your idea with them and made them gain interest in whatever you're doing, you can as well go ahead and look out to your peers, tell them, you guys, you need to work together to achieve this, like encourage them, try to see how best they can come in. And then you put in contributions and ask them to contribute. You know, in most cases, with most of these ideas, we have to like put all our pride aside and come and ask, because once you engage other people, trust me, you won't feel left alone. That's what I think. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Really wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Meda. So did anybody else want to add anything? Okay. You know, there are also, pardon me, go ahead. Hermano,
Sorry.
please. No, go ahead.
Another way in which you can get resources is participating in open calls that are, well, there are some like led by the government. There are also some like national or international, but not necessarily from the government. As an example, we applied for the Heineken Circular Economy initiative, which, well, you can get a lot of money if you want with this kind of open calls. There are some that are like directed for projects led for youth people. So yeah, there are like, that's also another way in which you can have money, like applying to open calls.
Yes, absolutely. This was actually what I was going to say. So thank you so much for sharing that, hermano. We were both thinking of the same thing at the same time. I was just going to say there are these sources, and they give small grants sometimes, but you know, the small grants can go a long way, and they're not that small. So like, you know, $10,000 or $15,000. Sometimes they even you know, 15,000 euros, and it just depends. But keep a lookout, and there are several of these that do the rounds. So and they're quite willing to support startups. So keep a lookout for them. Yeah, thank you, hermano, for sharing that. I think that's a wonderful source to look at. Thank you. Fantastic.
Yes, I completely agree. I think what Ivan was mentioning, I think is a really good idea, because the people here have amazing ideas. And I think once you start sharing them, you'll start getting more and more funding opportunities from grants or contests such as the one Ivan applied to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, I think people can do crowdfunding if you have a project and you put it out there that people connect to, they would crowdfund your project as well. So you can do a crowdfunding campaign and write to different organizations to just collaborate, and they too can pitch in, because it doesn't always have to be financial, but it could be, you know, like donating of something to the project, you know, advice, you know, a technical team, anything like that. So crowdfunding is also a great option, and I have used it before and it did work. So you're going to have a community of people that will support you.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you, Leah.
You're welcome.
Great. Excellent.
Are there any other questions, any other topics you would like to discuss on this final 5 minutes?
Okay. Well,
so I think, Ash, maybe we could go on and describe the future session 3 weeks from now.
Yes.
Would you like to explain that?
Surely. Thank you. I can initiate the sort of plan, and then you can add to that. What we were thinking was, and wanted to propose this to everyone, that first off, I wanted to say this has been an absolutely inspiring session. So thank you very much for sharing and for putting in so much effort to kick off these fantastic projects. And what we were thinking was, in order to do justice to the great work that you've started here and have been working on over a period of time, I imagine, we would love for you to continue. And if you feel the mentor model is helpful, then over the next few weeks, we continue with the mentorship. We'll continue to work with you, needless to say, and it doesn't have to end after a few weeks, please. This is the start of something much longer. But I just wanted to say, in the build up to our next reunion, which would be to bring us together again, where we hope those who haven't been able to join us or haven't been able to present would have an opportunity to present, and those who have presented might have updates, may have additional presentations that they'd like to make, you know, so we will welcome that. So we wanted to say that we could keep that dedicated time for presentations and discussion. And if you could let us know, and we'll let you know by when that you will be presenting, we'll make sure we have an agenda that organizes everybody's presentations, and we have time for discussion thereafter as well. We didn't want to leave a long gap either in our next meeting. So we were thinking we could plan a movie night, kind of like connection just to watch a movie. We have a wonderful movie in mind. Some of you might have already watched it, some might not have, and if you have already watched it, I'd still say it's worth watching again. So we were thinking we'd do a screening and we'd come together and maybe have some discussion. There is another person who's had offered to work with us to train on the workshop, and maybe she'd be available for dialogue post the movie, but we'd love to be able to spend some time together. Needless to say, we'll continue our discussions in this period and want to work together to help you develop your plans, take them forward, questions, anything else that would be of support. So if this sounds like a good idea, then this was some initial thinking, and we wanted to offer this. And we'll come back, if this sounds like a plan, we'll come back with dates on when you can make a commitment for your presentation, just so that we're preparing an agenda simultaneously. And also we wanted to build up to the pop festival, no doubt. So I just wanted to say that, while we will meet again and have a chance to present, we also hope that all of us will be able to get together at the pop festival. And I just want to say that I know at various presentations we've heard of how the families kind of come together, but you are the family. So it's really, really important for each of us to recognize there is no family unless we're here. So you are the heart of it, and we're so thrilled. And the festival is really yours. So let's make sure we amplify our voices, we come together and we celebrate action and just being a pop family that's making a difference in this world. And let me tell you, every drop counts. And so everything you're doing is really, really important. And I want you to believe in it. And I just want to say that the idea behind the festival is that we keep focused on the positive, the hope, and you are the hope. And so it's really a place for us to celebrate coming together. So I just wanted to say that it's really special. Let's keep the next few weeks and all the momentum. And if this sounds like a plan, we'll see you in another maybe 10 days or so for a movie, and then another 10 days later for presentations, but we'll come back on dates. And let's also build up all your action to the festival so that we can have you amplify your voices. And thank you all so much again. A big hug and a big congratulations to everyone. So I'm gonna put out a big applause, really, to everyone. Thank you. And a big hug to every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, hermano.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
It's been so fantastic. Very inspirational, each of you, really fabulous. If anybody else wants to say anything, add anything, please do. We're so proud.
This has really been fantastic in the first workshop series that we've done with Pop Ocean, and I would say it's been a big success. So thanks everyone for your participation.
And a big congratulations to the entire Pop family, everyone. Really, I just want to say that it's so special. Really, thank you.
Thank you to you for all the help, the advices, the upcoming ideas.
It's fantastic. The work's been yours, and I think the positivity and the inspiration comes from you. So really, I want to congratulate you and really mean that. Thank you.
Thank you also so much. And you can stay in contact with all your mentors. Sorry, Mira, go ahead.
Thank you with the Pop family. My mentor was Philo. Sorry, she can't make it. She's not feeling well. And then to all the other mentors I got along the way, I worked along with Vanessa. I worked along with Anna. I worked along with Pop Ash all the way from the start. Thank you all. I'm so excited. Yeah.
It's fantastic. And, keep the communication coming on the WhatsApp group. Don't hesitate. I just want to say that this is a place that's safe and it's non-judgmental. There's never any right or wrong. Everything you do counts and every idea is precious. So never want anybody to feel hesitant. I just want to say it's very much your space, and it's a place where we love you and respect you. So thank you.
I just want to say thank you, everyone. I'm so happy to be part of this amazing family. And thank you for the opportunity to get to know everyone a little bit and to get to learn from you. Everyone here is such an inspiration. And Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be part of this amazing movement.
And a big hug to all of you. Movimiento! 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 Great. I just wanted to say we're gonna party during the festival too, guys. So get ready.
Great.
Yes.
We